Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys don't know who this is, it's Marko. So
Hello.
you want to tell a bit about yourself, bro?
Yep. So I'm Marko. I also have a YouTube channel. It's called The Journey on YouTube, and I'm also part of the Gorilla Trading members. And yeah, we're both from there, both now funded,
Yeah.
and very excited to go through this forecast. So
Yeah, a bit crazy. We both got funded at the same time, right? Like similar
yeah,
times.
I think we did. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
So how long did it actually take you? Like, when did you join Gorilla?
I joined Gorilla Jan 2021.
Me too.
And
So the
yeah,
same.
similar time. And we both got
Yeah.
funded in April, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Crazy. But a lot of
Yeah,
hard
great,
work went
great.
into it.
Of course. It was a big journey, but now we're finally starting to get the funded accounts, so that's awesome.
I know. It wasn't like
Yeah.
our first challenge as well. Like we've taken a challenge before, right?
I did take one in February,
Yeah.
but then unfortunately failed it. I think I had no winning trades for that
Not happens,
one.
bro.
like one small winning trade because the market conditions were crap for February. Yeah.
Oh shit. Do you think like
Yeah.
you've improved a lot since then? Like,
I think I did, because the past, like from January, I really learned a lot from watching the educational videos and just trading live. It's the best learning experience, just to trade live and just to watch the markets every day.
no,
That's for me
100%.
personally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back testing and trading live is like two completely different things, in my opinion.
Of course.
Like
I would
the
say,
psych.
like,
I'll go ahead.
just you go.
No, I was saying, like psychologically, like we'll probably both talk about the EJ trade that happened this week.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, psychologically, trading is like it's a different aspect when it comes to psychology. Just executing trades, on back testing is one thing, but the
Yeah,
psychological aspect is just, yeah, crazy.
it is. But also, I know that all of the traders say like trading is 20% strategy and 80% psychology. But for the first 2 years, I think it's 100% strategy, because if you don't know the strategy, you're going to lose trades.
So
So I
true.
think
So true.
in the beginning, like, focus 100% on strategy, and then you can develop psychology later, because it takes a bit of time
No,
to
true.
learn everything. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a few people like DMing me about joining Gorilla, and they joined Gorilla, and they were like, should I start trading the bullet, the bomb, and all this stuff? But just following the education and like focusing on not rushing the process is like key. I personally,
Yeah.
for me, I rushed the process in the beginning. Like I wanted to trade the bullet, and I think there's a bullet video early on on my YouTube channel, just after I joined Gorilla. Not the
Mm-hmm.
right pathway to take. Like you need to like trust the process,
Yeah. Yeah.
go slow. Yeah.
I also I spent, I think, 3 or 4 months doing like back testing, but I didn't know even the strategy, because I didn't go through the content in enough detail. So the first 3 or 4 months I can just throw out the window. So
Honestly,
it's important to just follow the process closely and not deviate. Yeah,
it'll end up
because you
taking
can lose
more
a lot of
time.
time.
It'll end up taking more time. Yeah.
Of course, and it's all
Yeah.
because of stubbornness and like believing you can
That's
do
the
it better.
thing. You can't have any ego in trading, bro. Like, can't
You
have
really
any
can't.
trading. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough.
It's
But with the EJ trade, like this week, going to what was it, 11%, and then going back to stopping you out,
honestly,
I think it's tough. It's tough. Very
we
tough to watch.
both of us are actually taking another challenge, and we were both going to pass phase one. It just needed to like drop down probably 1% more, right?
I think 3 pips. Yeah.
3 pips for you. So like that. Oh, bro. How do you deal with that psychologically? Like when it like gave the double wicks and like completely reversed.
Break the keyboard. Yeah.
Bro, honestly, I just I saw the double wicks. I'm like, I know it's gonna reverse, but I gotta stick to the plan.
Yeah.
Left the table, came back. Oh god. There's something I do want to talk about,
Yeah.
like with these
I was
prop
thinking too.
firms. Yeah, I want to talk about these prop firms. Is like the daily drawdown limit. So
So
like
if you're
that,
talking about my forex funds, right?
yeah. For me, I'm trading my forex funds, and they have
Yeah.
the 5% daily drawdown limit, and it resets every day. So for me, it dropped to around 5% with a new day reset. So
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
to close it at a certain level. I couldn't let it hit my stop loss, or I would have violated the daily drawdown rules. So you got to kind of be wary about that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you ended up making 1% on it,
Yeah, I
or
closed it for 1%. If
yeah,
I let it hit my stop loss, I would have been violating the rules.
it's better than taking a loss, but still, yeah,
On my funded account, like
still
at
it
the
was,
loss. Yeah.
yeah, and it could have reversed back down and gave you that 10%. So you never know.
God, that would have been so pissed if that happened.
Yeah, because EJ also likes to go and then get back to break even and then go again.
Yeah, it's very true. It likes to get back to the bullet line and go back
Yeah, it
down.
likes
So,
to stop people out at break
were you
even.
hoping for that?
Yeah, I was. I had my hopes up, but didn't happen.
Oh, man. All right, anyways, we should probably crack on, or we'll probably be speaking for another couple of hours.
Yeah, let's do the forecast.
Yeah, we'll do the forecast. So basically, Marko trades 4 pairs. I trade 3. So we both trade AU, EJ, and AJ. But he trades EU. I don't trade EU. So we'll be forecasting and going over the trades for 2 pairs each. Yeah, so I'll be doing EJ and AU. Yeah.
Yep.
And you'll be doing the other 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be doing EU and AJ. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Alrighty. So yeah, I'm on EJ, and this bloody pair, took us both out. It was running in, let's see, 11.25% profit, and completely reversed after the double wicks and took us both out. So yeah, I'll just explain my thought processes on the trade. So basically, we had a break of this low, and with EJ, I probably speak for both of us that we don't mind an aggressive retrace on EJ.
yep.
The pair likes to aggressively retrace to the bullet line and tap and go, and that's what happened. For me personally, bro, if I wasn't on my phone and I was on the charts, this would look a bit too small, the stop size. I probably would have put it to like up there, realistically. But on the phone, it looked okay. So I kept it at 12 pips. So I probably have to get used to trading, looking at the charts on the phone.
For me,
what are your thoughts on this trade?
For me, I don't change the stop loss. So I just leave it at 12 pips at all times. And because it's EJ, through my backtesting, I have seen that it really, really likes to do this sort of setup. So it just like it taps you in and almost stops you out by 1 or 2 pips and then just drops. So for me, I'm happy to leave the stop loss like this. But yeah, it was very, if you look at it, it was very volatile actually, because these moves were huge moves compared to like the normal moves of, let's say, I don't know, 50, 60 pips. These were really huge. And I was also happy to like get tagged in with this aggressive retrace. I think it was a 30 pip or even 40 pip retrace. But for EJ, it's okay because this particular pair likes to do that sort of price action. That's the only pair. Yeah.
I still remember when we both learned this lesson. We were both monitoring the charts, and there was like a descending nature, kind of like this. and then it completely popped off, and we were like, nah, that's too aggressive. And then we watched the trade recap, and Joshua took that trade.
Yeah.
So that's how we learned that
Yeah.
aggressive retrace is all right.
Yeah.
It's
At that
crazy,
point,
crazy.
yeah. At that point,
And
I
then
also saw it and wanted to collect all the data, and it really works.
yeah,
Like the aggressive
exactly.
retrace really works. Yeah.
Yeah, so it happened right here. But some people put it 2 pips below the line. Would you have put it 2 pips below the line, or did you just keep it on the line? Like,
No,
what are
so
your
for
thoughts?
me, if it's a one candle break, I'll do it on the line. So I won't do
Right,
2 pips below, because that's how Josh does it. So the mentor, right? And I
right,
try to
right.
copy him as much as
Yeah,
I can. So yeah, we
yeah,
actually
he's
had a
got like,
trader from our accountability group, right? Griff. He was two
yeah,
pips
Griff,
below and he got stopped out, unfortunately. But yeah.
yeah. But to be fair, he had the pain early, but we had the pain later. Like
Yeah.
he didn't go through the profit and then
Yeah.
it been taken away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I was
yeah,
talking to
good on
him
him.
like, oh, it's a horrible feeling when this happens. And then it reversed and took me out for a
This
loss.
is worse, bro. This is worse.
This is much worse. Yeah.
Honestly worse, bro.
Yeah.
Like literally, it had to just go over here
Mm-hmm.
for probably both of us to probably for you over here
Yeah, for me, it was
to
just below the
pass the
wick.
first phase.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was
Uh,
also happy because it would build the buffer for my funded account. So I'm building a buffer of 10%. And it was like at 5%. And
okay.
I was like, oh, that's awesome. So now I have a buffer. Now I can take out the profits, and then it just reversed. So it was kind of stressful. Yeah. But also I would
Uh,
say an
it is what it
indication
is.
for a reversal would be like these two double wicks. They would definitely be like an
Yeah.
indication for a reversal on the Japanese pairs. So something to note.
Yeah. Like, I don't think both of us were surprised that this kind of happened. Like when you get double wicks, aggressive retrace,
Yep.
the EJ pair likes to do this and then shoot off.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting that to happen from now. So for just a nice reversal up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I'll probably be forecasting that, but yeah, it is what it is. You got to follow the plan and manage the high and low as it is. So
It can happen. It can happen.
yeah, how
It
did
already
you deal
happened.
with this psychologically?
Well, psychologically, I see if my mentor is in, if the mentor is in the trade. So if Josh is in the trade and is also getting stopped out, then I'm okay. If he's doing it and he's making like what 200 or 300% per year, then I should be okay with this too. So it's just
Yeah,
it's good if you have someone that is going through the same thing, so you can relate.
no, very true.
That's what
Like,
helps me. Yeah.
yeah, for me personally, like I was happy with the execution. I'm happy he took it, but it was for me, it was like the first time, like in back testing, this happens. So I was okay in back testing, but this is the first time live I was this much up in profit and then it reversed. So for
Yeah.
me, it was like, I'm thinking about my funded account, like how much profit it was in. I've basically lost thousands. Like it was a whole thing. But at the end of the day, if Joshua was taking the loss and I'm taking the loss, it's fine. If he took the profit over here, I would have been like, bro. I would have been like, dude.
Yeah, that would
No,
have been
no, but
devastating. Yeah, but
oh, bro. Yeah.
when you see your mentor who is doing this for 15 years, and then he's also getting stopped out after being even 11% in profit, then you're like, okay, it's part of the game. It can happen.
Yeah.
It's EJ, and EJ sucks. So yeah.
Yeah, it's the probabilities. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll get on to the forecasting part now. So yeah, for me, got the double wicks. We're kind of ascending. We broke the high, retraced, large wick, got a range, broke the high. There's no momentum above the liquidity area. So basically, usually you get liquidity areas above or below a range. So It's kind of what we see here, and it's not breaking with any momentum. So for me, if we do get a bit more of an ascending and we break the low with commitment, I think I'll be willing to take a reversal bullet to the downside. I'll be really open to taking that trade. With EJ, it does like to impulse from like ascendings up and vice versa for descendings. So like we could see this, we might get a bomb. And for me, I think that's quite high probability. So I'm happy to take that. And if we do get like an impulse, a slight retracement, maybe a 1 or 2 candle retracement, and then a push up and back to the bullet line, that's quite high probability. It's like showing no signs that it wants to go down, and it's showing the momentum that it wants to go up. So I'll be happy with those trades. Other than that, we could get like a weak break of the low, and we might start seeing this larger range. That could easily happen. Yeah, and if we get an impulse down, get a clean short bomb, I'm happy to take that. So those are probably the main setups I'll be looking at on this bet. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, I'm looking at the same. And for anyone wondering, like the break and retest is actually this setup. It's the same thing. So I would like to see that one going to the upside. I think that would be very, very high probability, like getting this, like you mentioned, the same thing. So, but yeah, expecting some moves because looks like we broke out of the larger consolidation. If you just scroll to the left, and we can see like a huge, huge range, which is now finally like broken out of to the downside. So I am expecting to get some moves in the next week.
Yeah, 100%. Like the larger the range, the larger the expansion. So
yeah,
like we saw this huge ass range expansion. So we could see it potentially, pushing up, pushing down like properly. So yeah,
for sure.
just got to be patient. Just got to be patient. For me personally, I'm down a bit under 3% for the challenge, but just got to remain patient. The trades will come. It's not like April. Like April was insane.
Yeah, April was insane. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. What about you? Well, what are you on for your challenge right now? Like,
for the challenge, I am down 5% currently. On the funded account, I am down, I believe, minus 2.5%.
okay.
So because I'm doing 0.5% risk on the funded account to build a buffer. So not concerned at all, to be honest, but for the challenge, it's getting a bit, a bit close.
It is what it is.
But yeah, it can happen.
How many days do you have left?
Sorry?
How many days do you have left?
So I have until 1st of June. So I think it's around 15 more days.
All right.
Or even, I think it's 20 more days even. So plenty of time to get it, at least to break even for the free repeat, and maybe even to the target. So we will see. Yeah,
100%. It just takes a couple of trades, like the damn EJ trade. If you push a bit more,
yeah.
It is what it is.
Let's hope for another EJ push to the downside.
I know, right? All right. So yeah, you have the same thoughts as me. Like, anything else you want to forecast? Like,
no, I believe you mentioned everything. So yeah,
all right, cool,
I think we can move on to AU.
AU, yeah. All right, crack on to AU. Alrighty, so yeah, I took this trade, but reflecting and watching the trade recap, I wouldn't take it again. But I'm just going to share my thought processes on why I did take it at the time. So yeah, AU, we had this push down from a descending nature. And if you continue, we had a 1 candle pullback. Then did this break? Yeah, it broke, not with commitment. This isn't break with commitment. And for me, at that point, I was looking at the individual candle and like how it closed. And in my plan, it closed just enough to take it, the continuation bullet. And then I set my order, and it took me out. But hindsight, if you look at the size of the candles, there's not really showing any signs of commitment. Like there's no real signs that it really wants to go down if you look at the size of the candles.
Yeah.
So yeah, reflecting on it, I wouldn't take it again. And actually reflecting on my April month, ASRing it, comparing it to Joshua, even though I did rack up good percentage, my continuation bullets on AU especially are really shit. So it kind of shows with this trade as well. So
Yeah.
I think that's really important. Like even if you make percentage, you got to be accountable for your losses. Like
You have to be prepared for them because they will come.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me,
Like just
this
like
one. Oh,
go
sorry,
ahead, go
you
ahead.
can. No, you
No, I was
finish
just
what you were talking about.
oh, okay. No, I was just saying that like now May is like not the best month. So if I took trades like this, like I keep taking trades like this, it can rack up to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
11, 12, 13 like because continuations are so common, right?
Yeah.
Like they're so common,
Yeah.
like frequent rather. So
Yeah. When I
yeah,
started
yeah. So
when I started trading live with a minimum lot or something like that, I had, I think, 15 or 12, 20 losses in a row. So that was not a pleasant
geez,
experience. Yeah, on the
continuations.
continuations, yeah. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on because they can rack up, and it goes in a
'Cause-
series. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's never like 2 winning trades, 2 losing trades, 2 winning. It's always like 5 winning trades, 10 losing trades in a row. So
yeah,
it can
100%.
happen. Yeah.
And
And
at the end of the day, sorry, bro. I was just
oh,
gonna say at the end of the day, oh,
uh,
go.
I just wanted to say about this trade. So for me, it was breaking with wicks right here. So
Yeah, yeah,
it was not breaking by enough. Yeah,
yeah.
just wanted to add that because of the wicks, it's
No, very true.
definitely too important to look at it. But
Yeah,
what
like
were
looking
you
at the
going to say?
individual candles,
Mm-hmm.
like looking at the individual candles is like very important. Like it's not just like we broke the low and we see a good close. It's about looking at the individual candles and what's happening. So
Yeah, yeah. Every single candle matters, so that's really important to keep in mind.
yeah. Yeah, and I was just gonna say like ultimately the bullet is just a break and retest,
It
right?
is. It is. Yeah.
So like how frequently does that happen? Like we can see it everywhere. Like this broke the high, retest, broke the high, broke the low, retest. Like it's so frequent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
gotta be
On the
careful.
1 hour chart, it happens, I think, 5 or 6 times per day, where you can get
Crazy.
in on an entry, but you should not get in on an entry.
So true.
Yeah.
All right, continue on. So yeah, so we basically that was the only trade I took on AU. We got this V shape. Then after V shape, you tend to get a range. Got this kind of range expansion. Got a V, indicating a bit of volatility. Then we got this descending nature into an ascending nature, which is quite common on this bear actually. It likes to
Yep.
do this and then go like this.
Yep.
So that's what's happening right now. You have any thoughts on what happened in the market?
So for anyone wondering, for EJ, I was in the same trade as Shan. And
All
for
right, yeah.
AU, I had 0 trades last week because it was just, so we saw the volatility, as you said, right here, which after seeing that, I definitely stay out of any trades. And then we saw this price action which just indicated a larger range. So nothing really going on.
Yeah. So
So
you
yeah,
took the trade on EJ and you didn't take the trade on AU.
yeah.
All right. So 1 trade for you, 2
Yeah.
trades for me. All right.
Yeah. And so for AU, like this is typical of bad price action. You can see we're just breaking, retracing. So really just going in from a descending into an ascending and not showing us anything. Very
Yeah.
easy to spot actually. So
Yeah. It's very easy to spot if you can properly, track the lows and see what's happening in the overall picture. Like, so yeah, that's why really understanding price action is like king. It's like really important.
of course.
Yeah.
for sure.
All
So
right, so
what?
I'll crack on with the forecasting.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are your thoughts about the forecast? Yeah.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, so basically we got the descending into the ascending. So for me, yeah, I'm not looking for any continuation bullet. It's not enough momentum, anything's happening. But what I would be interested in is that if we did get a bit of a push, and we got a bomb, it's not the most high probability on this pair ascending into a bomb. But I would be willing to take it if we get a nice clean bomb.
Me too.
If it's a messy bomb, like a large bomb or something like that, I'm going to stay out. Just because it's not the highest probability on this pair.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Me too. If you get a large impulse like you draw here, so a large push up, I'll definitely look for a nice bomb or a flag or whatever you want to call it. So
Yeah,
but it needs to be a large impulse for me personally. If it's like a smaller struggling to go to the upside, then definitely staying out.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
What else? So yeah, if we get a push up showing more commitment and then a small retrace, and then we had an impulse up back, and then we retrace back to the bullet line, I'll be happy to take that. Now we can see a bit more momentum. So yeah, that's high probability for me. What do you think?
I would definitely like to see that type of thing, because that one works the best on the Aussie and US dollar when we see that.
Yeah,
sort of
likes the trend,
transaction.
right?
Yep. Correctively trending and always doing something like this, just struggling but still going up. So
Yeah,
that would be the best possibility for me.
100%. But it's like, for me personally, I've been caught, taking very messy trades looking like this just because it is trending correctively. Like maybe there was a bit of a push here. I'll be like, oh, I need to get in because I know it trends correctively. But you got to be really careful.
Yeah.
Like just because it trends correctively doesn't mean you get in kind of like that.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
You have to do the back testing to get the pattern recognition, to get it in your head, and then you will know what to look for. But yeah,
100%. There is another trade idea I have. Yeah, it is descending to ascending, but since I know it likes to do that, if we get a very clean break below this low and back to the bullet line, I'll be happy to take that just because it's showing me commitment and it wants to go down. However, I wouldn't want a normal okay break of this low. I would need a bit more commitment since we are descending into an ascending.
So by commitment, do you mean two candles, like a 2 candle break, or like a clean close break, so no wick?
For me personally, I would need to see a 2 candle break. If it broke maybe like this, right, with 1 candle,
Yep.
then it would have to retrace with 1 candle.
Yeah.
Right.
Then
If I set my order, then that would be too kind of aggressive for me. Break and retrace as well. Yeah. Broke the high, broke the low, retrace. So 2 candles and then it's slowly coming to the bullet zone, like kind of like that. That's something I'd be interested in.
Me too. I would need to see at least a 2 candle break, like a nice big break. Then I would consider taking a trade. Yeah.
100%. So yeah, and other than that, if we do get obviously the clean impulse down, I'll be interested in the bomb flag. Anything you can call it, whatever.
Yeah, of course. That's the standard stuff. Yeah.
That's like the standard,
always
forecasting it.
Yeah.
Always forecasting it.
Yeah.
Any other trade ideas? Or
so for AU,
to...
I need to see cleaner price action. This is
Yeah.
not showing me anything personally. I want to see a nice pattern, so a nice ascending or a nice descending, then a reversal. So currently sitting on my hands, especially since Mondays and Tuesdays are range bound. So waiting.
Yeah, that's
for
very
some
true.
more moves. Yeah.
Mondays are more range bound, so you got to be more careful. That's a good point.
And do you tend to be more conservative, like on Monday and Tuesday?
So if you see over here, was this on a Monday?
So that was the 9th.
No, it was a Tuesday. No, but yeah, Mondays, I used to take more trades. I think there was a combo the week before. Yeah, there's a combo here.
Mm-hmm.
I did take it personally,
Mm-hmm.
but they're actually not as high probability. When Joshua says this, he found that most of his trades on Monday mornings are losers.
Yeah, yeah. He
So
did
I'm going to
stop
start
taking them.
incorporating that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a
Probably stop
couple of
talking.
months ago, he was taking these sort of setups, but now he decided to stop. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I probably won't be looking for anything very early on in the morning on
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
Probably later in the like morning, afternoon, evening, maybe start looking.
For me, it's after London Open, I'm taking trades. Before London Open, I'm staying out of any
Just
setups.
saying out. Yeah.
So that's my rule. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not a lot of volume before the London Open. So yeah.
Yep. The market kind of heats up on the London Open, and then you have to wait until Wednesday for it to really start going.
Yeah.
For me, from my experience. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. For this segment, we will go over the euro and the US dollar. I did have one trade on this pair, and unfortunately, it was a loss. So let me take it back to what I was seeing. This was, I think, it was Friday actually. Yeah, it was yesterday. So I was seeing this nice large impulse down. I was seeing this nice push, small pullback, another push, small pullback, and then another continuation. No momentum shift in the pullbacks, which is always a great sign. So this means it was heavily trending down. And we did come from this consolidation. Usually when we see this sort of price action, we start to heavily trend down, either down or up. So I was very happy to look for shorts at this point. And there was a nice clean pullback which happened. So I saw no momentum shift in the pullback, and there were almost no wicks right here. So I placed a pending short order right here at the inside bar, and then got tagged in and tagged out for a loss, unfortunately. But it fit my plan 100%, and I would definitely take it again. It was a really good trade. So what's your take on this?
Yeah, so I don't trade EU, but just looking at the trade, it looks like a very clean trade. Like we got the nice impulse, and then it's showing no signs it wants to continue down. Like you see, if I just can annotate it,
Yeah, for sure.
let me just annotate. We can see over here. Oops. We can see over here, right? That one candle retracement push down, and we have this retracement, no signs it wants to shift, push down. And then if you see the retracement candles, it's showing no shift of momentum. And then we have a nice combo. So I don't trade the pair, but just looking at the price action, yeah, it looks like a good trade. So
yeah, I think it was a textbook trade.
textbook trade.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
because no
probabilities.
momentum shift. Yeah. Well, the strategy, what the win rate for me is 40%. So losses are definitely expected. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. Like, you could be like on April, we had a lot of winners, and now the losers will
Yeah.
come. Like it's just probabilities. So
Yeah. Now the tough times have arrived. Yeah.
yeah.
So currently, I see that we're going from an ascending right here into a descending structure, which usually signals to me a range. And since we are trend traders, we are definitely wanting to avoid a range. So what I can forecast for this pair is actually something like this. And I'll definitely stay out of this price action. It would be crappy to look for trades. But if we do get a large impulse up, then I will look for a nice bump or a flag, or I will look for a nice bullet or a break and a continuation. But I need to see a large impulse. Definitely need to see a large push. Or same thing to a downside. So a large push down, a nice flag, or a nice push down, and then that break and retest trade. Also, I will be interested in a clean ascending, something like this, and then maybe a reversal. Of course, we are always looking at those ascending and descending structures. That's part of the strategy. Or same thing to a downside, a nice clean descending, and then a reversal up. What I would definitely advise is if we do get that larger range to look at the liquidity areas. So below and above the range is where people do keep their stops. So the traders going short, they keep their stops in this box. Those going long keep their stops in this box. And you need to be careful what happens in these areas. Do we just break and retrace, or do we actually break with some nice conviction to the upside or to the downside? So definitely something to keep in mind. What's your take on this?
No, I was just going to mention that it's so true. You know, the liquidity areas is something you got to potential liquidity areas. You got to be really careful of. Like, technically,
Yep.
we broke the low with a wick and retraced, and then we broke the high and retraced. So
Yep.
even for me, we potentially could say, this is probably shocking drawing, but you can see potential liquidity areas could be here, and we're starting to range a bit. So gotta be, he's laughing at me. Yeah, gotta be a bit careful, you know, with this price action. So yeah, you're
Yeah,
spot
yeah.
on with what you said.
I think we can expect a larger range, especially again, I will mention Mondays and Tuesdays are range bound, so we need to be a bit more careful. Yeah.
Yeah.
For this pair, I think that's about it. I think we can move on to AJ, which we both trade,
Perfect.
so it will be interesting to see the thoughts.
He is, or anyway, a bit of a dead pair, in my opinion.
Uh, a bit of a dead pair, or
The dead pair meaning like it doesn't move like AU and AJ. Like
oh yeah, for
maybe
sure.
not as frequent. Maybe dead pair's not the right way to put it, but
Yeah,
it's different. It's a different pair.
yeah. You mean a lot less trades, right?
Yeah, lossless trades. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So for Aussie and the Japanese yen, I think there was actually two opportunities this week to enter. First, we had this range right here, and then we had this V reversal, so volatility. And then we got a nice range, and then we continued down, which is a really common pattern. When we get volatility, then we usually range around for a bit, and then we continue in the direction of this second leg. So at this point, I was very happy to look for shorts, but I didn't take any trades. So I did stay out of this particular pair. But let me go through what I was looking for. At this point, the price action was very clean. So textbook price action up to this point, but then we got this candle which did not break by a lot. So it broke by only a few pips, and we got a small wick. So not enough for me to look for shorts just yet. And then we got this candle right here, which didn't really break the prior candle's low. It was not really a clean close. We got a small wick. It was a small candle. So for me personally, not enough. And then price continued down and actually reversed. It would have stopped me out. So it's good that I stayed out of this particular setup. But yeah, were you in, AJ?
Yeah, so I was actually. So could you take it back to the first candle that broke the low? Yeah.
Is this okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, great.
Now, so my thought process is, well, we have this nice impulse from this descending nature, and then we have a one candle pullback and then a break. So when I saw that price action, I was actually more than happy to take it also on AJ because it's showing me no shift in momentum. So
Yep.
for me personally, I was happy to place my order on the bullet line.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was just my thoughts. it would have been nicer if it broke a bit more,
Mm-hmm.
but I was happy to place it just because of the size of this candle and also I'm probably drawing way too much, but and the one retracement candle. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It,
if you press the next
mm-hmm.
candle, for me personally, um, yeah, we didn't close the nicest here. Like it didn't break the candle with body, it closed with a bit of wick.
Yeah.
But for me, I like this bearish pin bar. It's showing
Mm-hmm.
me that it doesn't want to continue up.
Mm-hmm.
So I know someone in our accountability group that placed the order only after this candle.
Yeah.
Um,
It was Aaron.
Aaron, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Aaron.
Aaron,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's a different way of viewing price action. Well, the trade recap comes out tomorrow, yeah,
Yeah.
for
Well,
Joshua.
we already discussed this trade on Friday on the call.
All
And
right,
so
yeah, I missed it.
Josh,
Yeah,
our mentor, said that it was not enough of a break for him on this candle, and this candle did not show him like conviction to the downside. He wanted to see basically a clean close. He didn't want to see this small wick. So
I see.
that
So he
was
didn't take it.
no, he stayed out of the both
Yeah, see, my
opportunities.
continuations are shit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We need
so
to work on the
yeah, I
continuations. Yeah.
know. So you see, like I think that's like it's really good that we have a mentor that's like light years ahead of us. I'm
Yeah, for
like
sure.
like through my back testing, I'm happy to take it. But then when I see someone light years ahead of me saying why he doesn't take it, you gotta listen to him. Like you gotta
Of course.
let go of the ego.
Yeah. And it's so good when someone with that much experience can actually share his thoughts, and you can see, oh, okay, so that's what he was thinking, and then for the next time you will do exactly what he does. So that's definitely great to be trading the same types of setups and basically the same strategy
Yeah.
as the mentor. Yeah.
And something that's really good about Joshua is that he can rack up a lot of percentage, but even during shit months like this, he knows
Yep.
how to retain his capital. Like, like, did he take any losses so far? Maybe just that EJ trade.
He took 2 losses. So from April he took only 2 losses
Yeah,
on 6 pairs. So that's really, really good.
that's like
And by
really
looking,
good. Yeah,
by looking at his statistics, he never has more than 3 or 4 consecutive losses. So that's awesome. Like that's superstar trader stuff. Yeah.
honestly, like really good mentality. Like he would, most people you see this impulse. Like this is what I was thinking. Small
Mm-hmm.
retracement and we're going. So I was happy to put it, but he had that extra price action knowledge that
Yep.
let me just undo this. He had that extra price action knowledge that he wanted to see a bit more, like what you said. Like he wanted to see a bit more, even though it's looking like it could be going down.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
What I
extra
can
knowledge
what I can
makes me
what I can mention from my backtesting. So I need to see a bit more of a break on Aussie and the Japanese yen compared to the Aussie and the US dollar, because I need to see a bit more conviction. It doesn't really move the same. It moves very similar, but I need to see a bit more on this particular pair. So maybe
right.
if it was AU, I probably would have been in, but for this one wasn't on the fence.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like it's so important to understand like that each pair trades differently. Like
Yeah, yeah. The pair characteristics, that the most important part. Yeah.
honestly, bro, like in my beginning of guerrilla trading, I was like, what the hell, pair characteristics? I wasn't focusing on that. I'm just like trade every pair the same.
Yeah. Yeah, when they mentioned pair characteristics to me, I was like, what the fuck is that? Why would I use that?
So true, bro. I was like,
Let me just ignore that part. I'll do my things.
yeah, I didn't like look at naked charting, dude. I was just like bullet bomb enter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought I knew it all, bro, honestly.
I think everyone does in the beginning, and then they see what's actually going on. Yeah.
it's like naturally, like we just want to get into trades, you know, get the winners, rush the process, but it's not the right way to go about it.
No, but I think you need to learn by being burned. It's the best way to learn,
That's
at
so
least
true.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people were saying to me, don't rush it, don't rush it. And I was like, what? I'll do my thing. Just,
Yeah. Do your
just leave
thing,
it. Yeah.
experience the loss, and then come back strong, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you need experience a loss. Like my first story of trading, I started with like a 200 pound account,
Hmm.
literally like started learning on a week for a week on YouTube. I'm like, oh yeah, start recording videos, how like, you know, resistance, support, break and retest. And like I blew the account. And like psychologically, that was like so much for me. I'm like, oh no, I lost money. No, I don't want
Yeah.
to trade. But you got to go through that like psychologically. Like it's just a number at
Yeah.
the end of the day.
Yeah. And now 200 pound is just the spread that you pay for.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Time
It's
flies.
really interesting how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Okay, so let me continue with the
Yeah, the
forecast.
forecast.
Yeah. So currently I see that we are going into this ascending structure. Let me just mark the also this high. So I'm just marking the breaks by these
Go for it.
dotted lines. So what I'm seeing this descending, smaller descending going into an ascending, which usually signals to us a range. So similar to the Aussie and the US dollar, I'm being a bit more careful. What I will be looking for is a nice reversal to a downside. So a nice ascending structure, but it really needs to be clean, and then continuation pattern. So either a flag or a break and retest, whatever happens. But I'm expecting just for the price to do something like this, which I'm then staying out of since we are trend traders. But if we get a large push down, I'll definitely be looking for a setup, maybe a break and retest also, or a large push up. I'm looking for a nice flag also, or a break and retest. As I said, whatever opportunity we get. And yeah, not really anything more interesting about this pair, since we are kind of ascending. Muscles don't tend to play out that good, so I need to see a bit more of conviction. I need to see at least, I would say, a 2 candle push, so something like this, a nice push and then another push down to really get that conviction that the price is ready to go to the downside. So what's your opinion on AJ?
Yeah, I just want to ask you a question there. So would you, at this point, if I had a strong push, would you look for the reversal?
I would, but I need to see at least a 2 candle push, and I need to see like a clean close, so almost no wick on the end of the that impulse. So I would,
Right,
but it would really need to be clean for me.
right.
Yeah.
My just looking at it right now, like we are having this ascending. But if you look at
Mhm.
price action, it's broken the high, broken the low, broken the high. So like
It has. Yeah.
for me, I don't know. Like I think I would stay out of this one right now. I would need to see
Mhm.
maybe a bit more and then a break.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that's just me personally. Like I want to be a bit more conservative with my capital.
Yeah. I only now just noticed that we broke the high, retraced, broke the low, retraced. So when I see this, then I would now reconsider, and maybe I would need to see like a really large push down and then a nice bump or flag.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is definitely a warning sign right here.
What about a combo? Like what if we got a push down here and maybe we got a combo? I think maybe I'll be considering that trade,
Mhm,
that kind of
mhm.
trade.
Yeah, I would maybe consider a combo, but for me, the combos are really high probability when we are trending, not for a reversal on AJ.
Right.
When we are
Right.
trending, I'm taking all sorts of combos, but for reversals, as I said, I'm being a bit more patient on this pair because I don't have luck with reversals on this pair. Let's just say it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. This pair loves combos though. Like
Yeah.
it loves combos in trending conditions. Like more so.
That's
Like
definitely a pair characteristic for this one.
Yeah.
Combos do work good. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So when we are trending, heavily trending, and then we get like a combo and a momentum shift, I don't care about the momentum shift. I'm taking it at this point to go long, and it usually tends to work out like 80% or something like that is the win rate. Yeah.
And for those who don't know what a combo is, like we won't explain in huge detail, but basically it's a combination of a bomb and a bullet together. So yeah, a flag on a retest zone.
Maybe I can find one. Let's check.
Yeah.
Oh, so this would not actually be. This would be a combo.
Oh yeah,
so right here,
it would be. Yeah.
A push, first part of the pullback, then a small pause, and then second part of the pullback to the entry point, which would be this inside bar right here. So that would be the entry point. So a combo is basically just a bomb or a flag, but to the entry point. So a larger bomb or a flag.
Yeah. So anything else to forecast? I'm just thinking. Yeah, I think both of us is waiting for clear signs of momentum.
Yeah. Currently not really showing me that good price action that I want to see. The Aussies are not really moving how I would like them to move. So the euro pairs for me are a much better focus currently.
Like on the overall grand scheme of things, right? Like
because they had the huge consolidation and are now trending to a downside. So I see clear direction, but for these Aussies, I'm not really seeing that direction up or down. I'm just seeing indication of a range personally.
I agree. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's quite fun recording with Marko. 100%. If you guys want to follow his YouTube channel, you better follow his YouTube channel. It'll be in the description below. So if you like this type of content, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Smash the like button, subscribe to both our channels. Any suggestions on what you guys want us to do, any topics you want us to talk about, leave them in the comment section down below. But yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah, it's been great. And we will do this types of forecasts weekly. So make sure you guys tune in to see our trade recap and the forecasts, and to be prepared for the next week for the market open for sure.
Well, we'll be doing it every week, so it's a weekly thing. It'll be coming to you guys. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one.
Goodbye.
See you.